Tonight on the Empire Report, a civilian border militia single-handedly stops a vandal raiding party. Could private fighting forces be the key to keeping our families safe?
The Polo Bill may be one step closer to passing as today's unemployment report leaves the Empire looking to find financial relief anywhere they can. Find out why military cutbacks could mean extra credits in your bank account this tax season.
And how long is too long? A new record-setting noodle could soon have dinner seekers slurping their way into orbit. All that and more on the next Empire Report at 2200 SET.
This video made possible by the ICC Stellar Surveyors and subscribers like you.
Welcome back to Around the Verse, episode 61. I'm Sandy Gardner.
And I'm Ben Lesnick.
We launched the Community Hub on Tuesday.
Yes, the Community Hub is a system by which Star Citizens backers can share their content, can share Star Citizen news information with sort of an upvote system similar to Reddit. Thank you to everyone out there who helped us test it. We're going to begin the process of improving it based on your feedback now, but we'd like everybody to get in there, share your content, and help make it a success.
Yes, and soon we will be able to launch the next Great Star Citizen, so keep tuned for that as well.
Yes, we'll have details on that shortly. The other new thing that we are preparing to launch, hopefully today it will go to a wider group of testers, is the Issue Council, which is our new bug reporting system that's going to tie folks in the community more directly into our QA process. We will generate tickets, we'll allow people to vote on them, let people know when issues are happening repeatedly, let people say what's especially important to them. Tests are going well, and we hope to have that rolled out to everyone shortly.
I like that. CitizenCon is coming, and the community and marketing team are working very hard to make the event a success, while developers around the company continue working.
Yes, they're doing the real work. But folks around the company are working on some pretty big milestones, including the multi-crew release and, of course, the FPS. And we will share more information on that as it becomes available.
Now let's kick it to news from around the verse.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to rainy Santa Monica. I'm Eric Kyron Davis with
Randy Vasquez.
And we are here to give you today's update. So we've got a lot going on here in the Santa Monica office. We've got a bunch of guys upstairs working on the Drake Herald, bringing the gray box to a close. Kirk Tomei is also working on making it flyable. You guys saw Elwin a few weeks ago. He's been working hard on the Reliant, and so he's doing the same thing. We're trying to get that up in the air as quickly as possible. And then the Constellation has been a big one for us. We're trying to bring that to a close very, very soon. It's a very exciting ship, and it's looking really, really good. But I asked Randy to come down to give us an update on another special ship on the design side. I want you to talk about a little bit about the Caterpillar.
Cool. So yeah, you guys probably seen a picture on the forums of me working on some white box on a Caterpillar.
That's a good picture, by the way. You should check it out. Go to facebook.com/our page, and you'll see you. It looks good.
But yeah, basically I've been working on the Caterpillar, and it's still very initial, early on design, so we're trying to come up with the modules, kind of how cargo is going to be handled inside of it, all the different things that make up the whole Caterpillar. So we've been talking to like writing and lore, we've been talking to like Ben, we've been talking to basically art team right now, and what I'm basically working on is just the interiors, kind of like what I did with the Starliner. Get some of that interior stuff done first. Cool. Once the interiors are kind of designed and laid out, then we can kind of go into where we give it to the artist, and then they make it look all sorts of pretty. Because right now, my artwork is not pretty.
Hey, that's all right. So that's this week. This week is be the interiors, focusing on that, and then getting back in our hands. Cool. So there you go. We've got a lot going on in Santa Monica. We're finishing a lot of work, and we're pretty busy. So thank you so much for checking in with us. Again, I'm Eric Kyron Davis.
Randy Vasquez.
I'll see you next week.
Hey guys, Jake Ross here, Associate Producer of the Persistent Universe, and I'm here with you this week to give you a little update on what we got going on with Social Module V1. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Josh, who, aka Zelf, who came by last week with his wife and child and toured the office and posted up a review on Reddit, and he had a lot of nice things to say. So thanks, Josh, Zelf, for coming by. Shout out to you. I also wanted to update you guys on our emote situation. So we're going to be recording audio here in the near future. I mentioned that our emotes will, some of our emotes, I would say probably a good half of them will have audio here in our next release. At least that's what we're hoping for. So we're going to be recording some temp audio here in Austin to kind of test out the system. Instead of shaking your fist silently, you'll actually be growling and grunting, and there will be some dialogues as well. So we're working with the writing team to kind of spice up the flavor of our language in Social Module. So next time you're around ArcCorp, you'll be able to kind of speak to your friends. So that'll be cool. So we got that recording session coming up here pretty soon. So we also are working on our respawn functionality. So there may or may not be opportunities for you to die and in the next Social Module release. So we got to work on a way to respawn you guys once that happens. So we're working on setting up some spawn points in the medical unit so that when you bite the dust, you actually come back healthy. So that'll be fun. It's getting to see that in action. And then we're also working on updating the hangar lighting a little bit. So now we have Emery in house. We can go back and look at some of the hangars and update that lighting so it's a little more optimized. It performs a little bit better, and it just looks a lot more beautiful. So we're working on that as well. So that we'll probably have a couple, maybe not all of them, but a couple of them updated for the next release. So yeah, that's what we're working on mainly for this week. So that's all I got for you. Thanks. See ya.
Hi guys, my name's Mike. I'm one of the customer service agents at Foundry 42 UK.
Hi guys, I'm Ali, otherwise known as Ali C. I'm also a customer service agent at Foundry 42 UK.
This is just a quick update to let you guys know where we are in regards to all of the customer service tickets and emails that you've sent in. We've had a considerable backlog since Gamescom, and we are working as fast as we can to get a personal response out to each and every one of you. I'd just like to apologise for the delay and assure you that we will continue to respond to them to the same quality and standard that you're used to. Thanks for your patience on that.
Also guys, I want you to not panic if you've sent in a ticket about a time-sensitive issue, such as like Retaliator sale, Vanguard variant sale. I promise you that we will deal with the ticket as if we're dealing with it the day you sent it in. Yeah. So you're not going to suffer because it's been answered late, I promise.
Another issue as well, we've got a lot of unmelt requests, which is basically a restoration of an old pledge that you've reclaimed. We will respond to all of these tickets when we can, but unfortunately there's been a temporary hold put on those. This is so that we can put our focus on more time-sensitive issues, like Ali's just said, and just so we can make sure that the response times on the really urgent and important issues are being handled, prioritised, things like that. We will respond to them just like we do with the other ones. Just please bear with us again.
Also, we're going to be doing some new updates to the website. I can't tell you quite what that is just yet, but I promise you it's going to make your life so much easier when it comes to finding out answers, as well as making our lives a little bit easier. So please bear with us with that. I promise you it's going to be awesome.
Once again, I'd like to thank you all for your patience during this busy time. I think this is the busiest we've been since I started. Yeah. So please, 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 if you've got a ticket in, bear with us, we'll get to it. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Later.
Hi guys, it's Brian Chambers from the Frankfurt office. This week I brought in Francesco Roccucci, our lead AI programmer. Thought he could talk to you guys about what he's been working on and his team and his guys and all that stuff.
Hi guys, it's nice to be here, first of all. And basically, what we are working on here is mostly first of all, overviewing all the item elements. So we try to organize all the different features that we use on the eye, starting from the behavior trees and the background systems, and make sure that all the features are actually used in the whole different modules of the game, and be sure that this one fits the overall picture of the game. And in the last weeks, what we are mostly focusing on is making sure that the behaviors are actually working correctly with all the different functionalities that designers want to use, and all our systemic also idle states we use. So we are pretty much very behavior centric. So we feel like behaviors are the central part of the way the eye works. So in any moment in which a level designer wants to script a specific event, or some specific events happen in the game, and we want, you know, the eye or the NPC is doing something specific, we want that the behavior is actually driving that specific.
Yeah, that way the designers have a whole like toolbox to pull from.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we are basically making sure that the behavior is able to handle these events or these requests from designers in a way in which it doesn't break the experience. So it doesn't, you know, happen like in lots of games in which it's very robotic, or, you know, it feels very gamey, let's say. So this will feel much more.
Yeah, you guys are working really close with animation as well,
Yes.
then, to make sure you get all that variety to match the behaviors.
That is very like an important part that we always stress out. It's like AI is a full set of features. It's not just, you know, the pathfinding or moving somewhere. It's really behaving in the right way, in a nice way, so that the people believe it's smart.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you everybody.
And thanks for watching. We'll bring more next week, obviously. Yeah, cool. Take care.
Bye.
Big thank you to our studios from around the world.
More finger guns. James sat down with lead engineer Paul Randell. Take it away, James.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the lead engineer, Paul Randell. Paul, how you doing?
Hi.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for being here.
Finally, right? It's been way too long.
Yeah, that's true. I think the last time I was interviewed was 2013.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like those interviews. So.
Well, thank you so much for doing it. So what are you working on right now?
So at the moment, we're doing a big item system revamp. There's this whole, they want to componentize the whole item system. They want to narrow down the number of items we have and make them more interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on getting this into the game for the next Arena Commander release. We're working on new items, and we're also working on the physical based damage. So we want to change the whole damage calculation to be physical based. That means that if you hit something, it actually takes the velocity and the mass of the projectile and actually calculates the real damage a projectile would do, but with this speed and this mass.
So that's what we're trying to get to. What do we currently have?
Currently, we have like designer-driven values for damage, for example. So designer, he creates a new projectile, he gives it values. He says, okay, this projectile makes 200 damage, and this projectile makes 300 damage. And it's kind of arbitrary. So we wanna make this to be. A designer just says, okay, I create a new projectile, and it's like it weighs like 5 grams, right?
Yeah.
So and the weapon, it shoots it at 300 meters per second, and now the damage basically falls out of the system. And the nice thing is, let's say the bullet is in gravity, so it slows down after a while, or it has some air resistance. So you don't have to have code calculating this, like based on the speed and the mass of the projectile when it hits, the damage is calculated. So all the values basically fall out of the system without having code to check. Okay, if it's like travel this speed, it needs to reduce the damage by that factor. So,
how big of a revamp has this been? How long has this project been going on?
We started the revamp right after the Gamescom presentation, and it's probably the next months still to work on. And it's also getting rid of the old, the whole CryEngine item code, which basically, when we started the project, we were a small team. We would take CryEngine, and it comes with example game DLL. So we would take this code and make it kind of work for us. And now we're running into troubles where like there are a lot of systems which don't work exactly how we want to work them, but we kind of have to make them and live with it, and also have bugs because of that. So now we're basically rewriting this from scratch to have exactly the item code and the weapon code doing exactly what we want in our game for Star Citizen.
So it's like we're taking the code they currently have and making it what best suits us,
Exactly.
our code.
Yes.
All right, so I imagine that's going to be a huge overhaul for not just in terms of the ships, but balance and everything else. So you're working with design to help facilitate this process?
Yes, exactly. So we, like, design came up and in the first place was like what item components they want to have and what weapon components they want to have, and then we sat together and try to narrow it down to like a achievable number. So for example, I think at the moment we have like a power plant for almost every ship we released. It came with an individual power plant, and that's not really like how the system should work. The system should work that we have like probably 20 ships, but we only have like 3 size 2 power plants, and then of course long term we want to add more. But we start with 3, and then player can basically decide, oh, I want to use this power plant, or I want to use this power plant on the ship, and then they can exchange components and basically start building their own custom ships. So they basically, it's way more fun if you basically take a ship and then you can try different variations.
You're making it modular, right?
And then you have your custom like build basically, and then you can share it on the internet. You find like, oh, I found this awesome build. It works perfect. If you take this power plant with this weapon and this shield, it really works well.
Yeah.
And then, right at the moment, you can't really do this because there's like, if you put a different power plant into a different ship, it totally breaks the whole system. So
nice. You're trying to make it more modular so people can make the ship they want to make as well. Interesting. So what's the next project you're going to take on?
So after this, I mean, this will be still an ongoing process. We're currently doing this for only vehicles, but we want to use the same system for FPS as well. So at the moment, only vehicles. The next step will probably go into FPS and also move FPS weapons over. And then at the same time, we work for the multi-crew release. So we will bring in multi-crew functionality into the ships, which means we need to put a lot of work into making the other seats in the ship also like fun to play. So at the moment, in Arena Commander, you fly a ship, you shoot the weapon. That's easy. Okay, that's a fun experience. But if you have a multi-crew ship, you have like, I don't know, 7 people on a ship. You need to have not only the pilot and the gunner have fun, you also need to make the guy who's in the engineering station, he needs the fun. So that means we need to add new gameplay systems which allow him to, for example, redirect energies through the ship, all this kind of stuff. So multi-crew is basically the next big thing we're working on.
Awesome, man. Well, I know we're all really excited. Thank you again so much for coming on.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, a pleasure too.
Back to you guys.
Good to see that James's head has gotten smaller.
All right, then. Back by popular demand, we have another episode of Witch Glitch.
Witch Glitch, Witch Glitch.
Here is Witch Glitch.
Wow.
You got a theme song now.
Where's that from?
I don't know. It just came out. Everybody watch Witch Glitch now.
Hello and welcome back to Witch Glitch. I am Tyler Witkin, or Xylo, and I am on the QA team in the Austin, Texas studio. I am joined today by my lovely teammates Amara, or Marissa Meissner.
Greetings, people of Earth.
Calavara, or Robert Geither.
I want to hug all the cats. That's my line.
Melissa Estrada, or Neko.
I don't know what to say anymore. I'm still going to hug all the cats.
That works. Jeffrey Bearded Peas.
It's really cold in here. We need to put on clothes.
He's right.
And you can see the rest of my terrible jokes on Facebook where I made a page for it.
Do not encourage him.
Yeah, I can't believe you just plugged
Do
that.
not encourage him.
We already have players liking it.
Don't visit that page.
From
Whatever you
MySpace.
do.
MySpace, yeah, sure. I'll just go code the whole thing in HTML.
Oh my gosh.
So it's been a while since we were able to record one of these segments. We've been very busy testing Gamescom, Social Module, and Star Marine. One of the good things about taking a hiatus is that now we have a bank filled with epic bugs, and we're really looking forward to sharing them with you all. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 5, Clank.
Well, like the visual effects and the missiles broke.
See, I like how it makes a sound as though it was intended to make that sound. Like,
this is why you don't buy weapons in a back alleyway.
It's why you don't buy anything in a back alleyway.
Number 4, Slip and Slide.
Friction. What does
Honestly,
that
that
taste
looks
like?
really fun.
Number 3, Bobblehead. The big blue floating bubble is not the bug. It is a bug, but it's not the bug.
It's more like
Have you noticed that there's a lot of things in our game that break by spinning around in circles?
Yes, actually.
Spin me right
No.
round like a record
No,
gonna
not
be
the song
right.
again.
Oh my god! I didn't see that coming.
Tyler's throwing coasters
perfect
across the
setup.
room. Da, 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 da.
Like, they could make this like an actual bobblehead that you can mount on your dashboard. I think that would be cool.
Yes,
I
have
still-
that on the front of your
I'm
Gladius.
still
You
waiting
just
for a
sit there-
Chris Roberts
yeah.
bobblehead. Number 2, Use the Force. Yeah, you can't see it here, but Yoda is actually on his back right now. Number 1, Trick Cup.
No matter what you do, it comes back.
You're right.
It's like one of those handles
never
that you can
lose
never
your
blow
cup.
out.
Even if you want to get rid of it, you just
Space
can't.
Cups by Aegis Dynamics.
Hey, Peace, I'm gonna assume that you'd probably be most likely to know, but I'm thoroughly confused as to how this could actually happen. Like, what is the bug here? How does it do that?
And those were the 5 bugs for this week. We hope you guys enjoyed them as much as we did, and we should be back to share some more bugs with you guys very soon. But for now, peace!
Bye.
Everybody be sure and let us know which glitch was your favorite. The tester who discovered it will win a brand new car.
Not really.
Not really.
We still love ships, so let's see what's happening in this week's Ship Shape. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Ship Shape. This week, I reached out to the UK and got some information on some of the modules they're working on for the Retaliator. We're going to be talking about the living area, the cargo module, and the dropship. Now, the first image we have here to show you today is of the living module. This was done by Peter Wilkes, one of our artists in the UK. This is where the crew is going to spend a lot of their leisure time. Think of it as kind of the living room. Now, when we reached out to Peter to find out what it was like to build out this room, he said that one of the major challenges is that in the layout of the ship, there's not a lot of space between the room on top of it. That's why he struggled a little bit with the ceiling space. You'll notice there's kind of a dip, and he had to spend a lot of time making sure that all of the detailing fit the space appropriately, that the table was sized appropriately. The next step after this was changing some of the details to match the rest of the ship. For example, you can see this in the general aesthetic of some of the detailing in the ceiling, and you can also see it in the decals and signage in the room, which were updated to make sure that they matched the rest of the ship. Overall, Peter was really excited to work on the living module for the Retaliator because he's a big fan of the ship's aesthetic, and he was really excited for the opportunity to work on it. The next image we have here is the cargo storage room. This was done by Ian Stewart, also an artist in the UK. It's a fairly simple room. In this image, we don't have any crates to show spacing, but he really enjoyed working on it because he got to flesh out a lot of the detail in the sides of the room to make it really look like a cargo space and to make it his own. The third module we have to show you guys today is the dropship module, and this was also worked on by Ian Stewart over in the UK. This is the room where troops gather before they're deployed out into space or out into battle. Now, one of the challenges with this module was fitting 12 troops in what is supposed to be a very tight, compact area for deployment. But we had a plan. We spent a lot of time whiteboxing this room to make sure everyone fit into their appropriate spaces in a way that made sense and could still maneuver around the room. After that, we just focused on each small section until the room started to come together. And as you saw earlier with the cargo module, we also had to make some small aesthetic changes to the room to make sure it really seemed at home inside of the Retaliator.
And again, you can see this in a lot of the detailing and text around the module. And Ian actually said that this was one of his favorite rooms that he's worked on so far because he felt so accomplished after it all came together. Now, of course, this is all still work in progress, but we were really eager to show you guys what we had so far on the Retaliator modules. That's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Back to you guys.
Well, that was some deep ship.
Sounds like it's full steam ahead on those Retaliator modules.
They are looking great. As you guys know, we premiered them at Gamescom a month or so ago, and they're already coming together in Engine.
That's about it for Around the Verse this week, but Star Citizen's evolution continues.
And this isn't even our final form.
All right. What? The Star Marine status update will be live tomorrow. As you saw last week, the merger was a success and progress is being made.
Jump Point will also be live tomorrow. I've got an article in there that's the history of interdimensional systems. Should be a fun one.
Avengers, assemble. We're kicking off a free fly week for the Avenger on Friday.
As you know, the team in the UK is working on both the update to the base Avenger and the variants, so it's always good to have some feedback on the current version. So check out an Avenger and let us know what you think on the forums. Or, if it's live, the Issue Council.
Yes, I know a lot of people like the Avenger, so go get flying. Thanks to everybody who has submitted their social videos on the forums. Now we would like to sweeten the deal. The best video will receive the very first MISC Endeavor platform.
Coming soon. And if you've already posted a video, you are in the running. If you haven't posted a video, why the heck not? Video it up.
This week's MVP goes to...
And the MVP this week goes to...
Yeah. WTFosaurus.
Yay! WTFosaurus, along with a group of backers, put together a Harlem Shake video, I know, topical, and put it on the Community Hub, one of the first upvoted pieces of content. So we thought we'd celebrate that. Here's a little bit of the video. And it wouldn't be Around the Verse without an art sneak peek, so here it is. Be sure to tune in to Reverse the Verse tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific on Twitch. We'll be answering your questions about that art and everything else Star Citizen related.
Thank you, as always, to all of our subscribers for making this show possible. We will see you next week on Around the Verse.